Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We are 18 days away from the expiration of the state's gaming compact with the Oklahoma tribes. As we enter into this narrow time frame, I want to provide you with a brief update from my last press conference. As you know, we've blown up here Part 15B of the compact. This compact shall have a term which will expire on January 1st, 2020. Now, the Gaming Association will continue to tell you that certain things are done that make these auto-renew, but I'm here to tell you no contract auto-renews in perpetuity. So since my last press conference, I've been meeting with tribal leaders from around the state who want to negotiate a new compact. They've expressed their concerns about the current one and the fact that it expires. When I first came into office, as you know, I got letters I inherited from the Fallon administration that basically said they expired as well. The Attorney General has also met with a different group of tribal leaders, and he's worked really hard to discuss fees, but also to discuss opportunities that would improve and expand and make the gaming industry more competitive with the emerging markets with the states around us. And one thing is abundantly clear from our negotiations is that the needs of the Oklahoma tribes are not united. Contrary to what the TV commercials and some of the newspapers are reporting, the tribes are not united on this issue. The state cannot reach an agreement that addresses the needs of every single tribe in the state in the next 18 days. That's obvious to me. But if we do not take action, all Class 3 gaming activity will be illegal on January 1st of 2020. This creates tremendous uncertainty for the Oklahoma tribes, for those conducting business with the casinos, for casino patrons. I cannot put Oklahoma in this position. To protect all the hardworking Oklahomans and the tribal members who are employed at more than 100 casinos across our great state, I am announcing today that the state of Oklahoma will be requesting tribal leaders to join me in signing an extension to the gaming compact. The language in this extension will allow each side who signs on to the extension to retain their legal positions. I want business to continue as usual while we resolve this dispute. You know, as we approach the holidays in 2020 and enter into 2020, I want the banks, the alcohol vendors, the food vendors, the entertainers, and the workers to have certainty and assurance that they can continue to engage in business while the state works to negotiate in good faith with our tribal partners about what gaming looks like for the next 15 years. I also want to ensure that the revenues of the state that the state receives under the current contract continues to be available to fund the state services that we provide to all Oklahomans. It'll be very important that the tribal leaders join me in signing this extension out of the abundance of caution. We do not want gaming to be illegal, and we do not want vendors to be operating illegally. The only way to ensure that this is the case is for the state and the tribal leaders to agree to an extension. The state will make a generous offer with this extension and not ask for anything in return. With different positions on the compact emerging out of the different Oklahoma tribes, and as the state offers an extension, I have also notified the Attorney General that I will be resuming direct negotiations with tribal leaders to ensure that we have a unified approach in the way that we deal with all of our tribes in regard to gaming. For the past 4 months, the Attorney General has been a strong representative for the state as the lead negotiator on the gaming compacts, and I will continue to depend on Mike Hunter's counsel and his partnership as the state's attorney. We both want what's best for the state of Oklahoma and we want a resolution that creates a win-win for the people of Oklahoma and for all the tribes in our state. As we enter this next phase, it's important for me to resume my travels across the state. All the past legislative session, I traveled the state and met with the tribes, toured their businesses, toured the storm damage, built relationships with the tribal leaders around the state. And in July and August, I made several visits to tribal headquarters and communities to specifically discuss gaming compacts. As we approach the end of this year, I will be reaching out and meeting with many tribal leaders, as many as I can as possible, to talk about the extension and the next steps on negotiation. The state of Oklahoma wants to settle this in a reasonable fashion, and as the governor of the great state of Oklahoma, I'm committing to get a win-win resolution for all 4 million Oklahomans and for all of our tribal partners. Thank you so much, and I'll open it up to a few questions.
The length of extension you're going to offer the tribes?
We're still working on that, but it's going to be give us plenty of time to sit down and continue these negotiations.
You and Hunter have a disagreement on the legal aspects of this. Is that why he's no longer involved? We're kind of unclear on that. It wasn't specifically stated.
No, the Attorney General and I have a great relationship, and just on December 13th, it was important that we move on and start preparing for January 1st. And I've been talking to certain tribes. He's been talking to different sets of tribes, and I just felt like it was best to have one unified voice. And so I told him that I would take up be the lead negotiator from here on out.
Does he support you on the auto renew position you've taken?
I believe he does. He wants a win-win for the state as well, and I believe we're going to get there. This is a great compromise to make sure that we have time to negotiate in good faith.
The tribes contend that the contracts auto renew January 1. Why should they sign your extension? I mean, they can continue as business as usual.
Yeah, that's why it's so important in plain English for everybody to understand that these do not auto-renew. These expire on January 1st, 2020, and they can protect their position by negotiating in good faith, signing an extension, or they're going to be operating Class 3 gaming illegally.
What happens at that point if they are operating January 1 without an extension?
There's going to be a tremendous uncertainty, and all legal options are on the table. And it's my hope. That's why I'm here to present this very reasonable offer. I think Oklahomans agree with me that we should continue to negotiate this, and I would hope that if they don't push back on, if they don't have to avoid any kind of their positions, why wouldn't they?
Governor, what's your understanding of the language in between, where the language preceding where it talks about the automatic renewal? The tribe's position is that others are authorized to conduct electronic gaming. They refer to the racinos that have already been approved for the upcoming year. So what's your position on that language?
So I understand some of the tribes are saying that they auto renew because we've renewed racetracks. So just so Oklahomans understand this, there is a non-elected group of a commission, 3 people that renew racetracks in Oklahoma. I don't think the intent of this contract is to allow 3 unelected officials to auto-renew a contract in perpetuity. What happens in 2035, in 15 years? Which is it that makes it auto-renew? So we make sure we don't make this mistake in 2035. What section are they looking to? Is it can we not auto-renew the racetracks next year, within 15 years? That's what's so confusing. I'm also working on, I'll be releasing a white paper that also addresses from contract lawyers that explain why these do expire. No contract goes on forever. I've been saying that for years. The big question is, why is this sentence in here if these things auto-renew forever?
Is there a difference between a compact and a contract?
A compact would be between 2 sovereigns but it still lays out. It lays out like a contract.
Are you committed to one single compact to address all of the various tribes, or would you be willing to negotiate with individual tribes, individual compacts?
Everything's on the table at this point. 15 years ago, the legislature passed one compact, and every tribe printed it off and used the exact same language. Other states do it different ways. It's my preference, but it's hard to get 39 folks to agree on anything, right? So it's very difficult. The state went on October 28th to present our offer to the tribes, and we were asked to leave the meeting, and we're not given the opportunity to present our presentation at that point. It's complicated, and I know it's complicated, but we are committed to coming up with a great resolution for Oklahoma. Oklahomans, it'd be much easier for me just to say, yeah, let's just let these things auto-renew. Oklahomans elected the wrong person if they wanted me just to not look at every single agreement and always advocate for what's right for Oklahoma for 15 years from now, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Have you taken the lead from the AG's office? Do you plan to hire more legal support?
Yeah, we're in the process of hiring additional legal counsel in preparation if we have to fight this out in courts. And so I'll be letting everybody know about that. Cannot wait to share with you. We've got a great law firm that we're just finalizing the agreement with them.
Is that an Oklahoma law firm or out of state?
It's a law firm that's dealt with these issues in other states, and so we didn't go with an Oklahoma law firm because we wanted one that actually has dealt with these exact issues in New Mexico and other states around.
You said you want to avoid vendors not acting against the law on January 1. You said you wanted to protect vendors from operating illegally on January 1. Would you take action against vendors beyond casinos?
That's absolutely a possibility, and the vendors need to understand that if they're operating and servicing an industry that's illegal, just like if the state can't receive money from an illegal activity, that's why we need this extension in place to make sure the vendors feel safe, the state feels good, and the patron and the workers. My heart goes out to the workers that are currently my fellow Oklahomans that are working in this industry as they're preparing for Christmas. I don't like the uncertainty. Folks, that's why I started this 6 months ago. And remember, it's been problematic even getting folks to the table. I've sent 4 letters out, as I explained last time, trying to get people to come to the table to negotiate in good faith, and we continue to get a lot of stiff arms. So last question.
Governor, this is off the wall, but before you became governor, did you like to gamble? You go to casinos, do your Vegas, anything? Are you fantasy football?
I've played fantasy football, and I've been to Vegas a few times. I would not consider myself a big gambler, no. I had to work too much. Thank you, guys.